What's up, guys? Today we're going to bring you something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the car scene somewhere a little bit remote and somewhere where not too many people have gone to talk to the locals about. So there you go. We're going to bring to you the car scene from Alaska. Alright, so we're here with Evan from P3 Import Autoworks, and we're in his 4000 Quattro. And you did some rallycross with this, and
ice racing,
and
another event called Tanacross.
Tanacross, the most popular motorsport event in Alaska, probably.
Well, it's one of the only wheel-to-wheel events around still, because the Ferrandi Grand Prix shut down. Ooh, what was that, 2009, I think?
They have circle track though, 2 circle tracks and a drag strip, right?
In this area, there's 2 circle tracks and a drag strip. If you go technically there's 3 more circle tracks in the state. There's one in Fairbanks, one on Kodiak, and then one in Kenai. They're all dirt.
Right, so we should specify we are a little north of Anchorage in Wasilla is where they're located. So Fairbanks is what, 6-hour drive or something like that?
Give or take.
Yeah, so quite far, but the only ones local to this area, one dirt and one paved circle track and a drag strip. So yeah.
It is the only drag strip in the state though.
Okay.
Yes.
So at P3, you guys kind of work on a little of everything, I guess. I kind of just wanted to talk about some things that maybe people don't know about tuning cars in Alaska and things that are a little bit different. You lived in Wisconsin pretty much growing up your whole life and did a lot of tuning there. So what are some different things that people might not understand about dealing with tuning cars in Alaska? Like 90 octane is one of the first things that I noticed at the gas pump. They don't have any higher octane except for 90. So
they call it 90. It's probably more like 87.
So a lot of cars up here run water meth injection.
Yep.
It's pretty popular.
Mixed race gas. Depending on where you are, I mean, obviously there's a lot of drag cars and whatever else. Well, not really a lot, but there's a good handful of them, and they all run straight race gas and like you'd normally see. But yes, we're popular with water injection.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of cars up here people probably don't realize. You guys do full like GTR builds, obviously a ton of Subarus and some Evos, but I think Subarus are probably the most popular tuning
Subarus
platform.
are, yeah, I'd say 75% of our work in the performance stuff is Subaru.
Yeah, and a good flow of Evos, a couple GTRs here and there. You yourself have a bunch of old Audis like we're sitting in now, so those make really good cars for Alaska people, I guess.
All-wheel drive.
Yeah, all-wheel drive, locking diffs. I'm the one that got him kind of started in the old Audi realm, so I apologize, I guess, but locking diffs, these cars are beasts in the snow, so it's a perfect car for up here.
Yeah, 4000s. They're fun.
Any of the old Audis with locking diffs, but what are some of the other things that people might not realize about building cars and being a car enthusiast in Alaska?
That's a good question. Everything's gonna cost a little bit more just because shipping, and we are, you know, we're one of the few actual performance shops still around up here. So most of the performance shops, they'll be here for a little while. The industry is really not as popular, and if you start doing bad work or something, or like you make one guy unhappy, he goes and tells a bunch of other people, and then, you know, you've got that mess. Whereas like in the Midwest, it's like, I don't know, every 50 miles you've got another shop somewhere. They're always popping up. I mean, for the most part, it's really not that different. The air quality and the air temperature is a lot nicer around here for turbo cars, as opposed to when you're in, like, I don't know, anywhere else that's like
Florida.
90 degrees, 100 and melting garbage can degrees.
Yeah,
you know.
Phoenix lately.
You get away with a lot more top mounts and stuff up here than what you do down in the lower 48.
P3 is, I think, the only shop in at least the Anchorage area that has an all-wheel drive dyno.
Yep.
So you guys do full builds from the bottom up, engine builds all the way, bigger turbos, full tuning operation. Seth is the owner of P3. He's been tuning for how many years now? It's quite a while.
That is a good question.
At least 7 I know of.
Well, you really started getting into tuning when the Skittle cars came out back in the day. I think he had a 05. I don't think this was an ACR Neon, but, you know. His had like the LSD and all the fancy, like, put a bigger turbo on it, couldn't keep the thing hooked up traction wise, and that's kind of where he started tuning. And then migrated off to Subarus, and yeah, been there ever since with that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid Subarus up here. They're literally everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So getting parts up here can be quite a challenge. I think the closest shipping is probably from Seattle, right?
Anything big freight, yeah, would be out of Seattle.
So getting engines and bigger items like that can be a pretty big hassle.
And then sometimes it's just basic stuff. I mean, I've had stuff you could put in a flat rate box and just like send it up, and they're like, oh, we don't ship to your country. And then I laugh a little bit. Like, you didn't go to school here, did you?
I've noticed that pretty much every car up here has a broken windshield. So they don't salt the roads up here, which is interesting. So cars don't rust, but they put this big like gravel grit stuff down in winter, and it tends to smash out headlights and windshields and anything glass and rock chips and all that. So
Yep.
if you're super particular about that, I don't think you're going to want to be driving your car in winter up here.
Not much you can do.
At least it's not rust though. Like in the Midwest and Northeast, that's pretty brutal working on those cars and dealing with rust and corrosion and all
Yep.
that. So one advantage, I guess.
Clear bras are popular up here.
Yeah, I could definitely see why.
Yeah, our biggest consideration is fuel. And the fuel quality has been going down in the last few years, we've been noticing. Because Seth was losing his mind. Like, we're doing these cars, and it's like you see the same car with the same mods roughly, and you kind of just know how much power it should be making. And, you know, they're making less and less, and it's like, am I doing something wrong? Am I being a shitty tuner or something? And then it's like, we're bringing in stock cars and baselining them too, and seeing that all across the board on cars, they're just, power's going down. So,
Yeah, it's interesting.
obviously the fuel quality is going down. I guess, yeah, that would be one of the other big considerations I get around up here every now and again is when it gets really cold, a lot of the PCV systems will start freezing just because of the... And that's the other Subaru thing. If you go on the forums, like, people pull their oil caps off and they're like, my engine's blowing up, I have this like pasty, creamy stuff under my oil cap. Well, things condensate, and when your oil cap is this far away from your valve cover, you know, it's not ever gonna get washed off the top of the cap. But anyways, people with just like generic catch cans, or for some reason Evos sometimes, I don't know why, considering how their PCV breather is routed, but some of the Subarus with the long run hoses will start to freeze, and we just get weird issues.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Evan, for showing us around a little bit and giving us a little bit of insight about tuning cars and the car experience in general in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.